It is deep into the night, and Mira is wide awake. She is trapped replaying a conversation from 3 days ago. A passing, critical comment from a coworker plays on repeat in her mind. Her physical body is completely still, resting in a quiet room, but her nervous system is running a marathon, pumping out stress hormones with every mental review of the encounter. Some of our most exhausting battles are fought against conversations that have already ended. The events of the past are perfectly capable of physically draining our present bodies. We all experience this mental glitch. We take a brief, throwaway remark and feed it into a mental centrifuge, spinning it until it consumes all of our attention. Psychologists call this the rumination trap, locking a negative emotion into a closed circuit. Every time that comment laps the track, you aren't solving the problem. You're adding a fresh layer of frustration, making the grievance heavier. Out in the physical world, the conflict is over. The coworker has moved on, but inside the mind, it remains an active, ongoing crisis. By choosing to carry this dead weight, we actively consume the cognitive energy we need to maintain our daily focus and experience joy. Breaking that loop requires an outside perspective. For Mira, the disruption arrives the next afternoon over coffee with a friend. Her friend listens to the entire frustrating story and then asks a simple, surgical question. Is holding on to this helping you, or is it hurting you? We often operate under a strange cognitive illusion. We act as though staying angry is a punishment directed at the person who wronged us. The person who criticized you feels nothing. You are the only one being crushed by the heavy emotional inventory. Letting go does not require you to suddenly agree with the criticism. It doesn't mean you forget the insult or pretend it didn't happen. It is a purely pragmatic realization. You put the weapon down because you notice it is only cutting your own hands. Knowing you should let go is entirely different from actually doing it. That evening, Mira sits alone at her desk to actively break the cycle. You cannot escape the trap by simply ordering your brain to stop thinking. The thoughts must be moved out of the internal echo chamber and into physical reality. She takes a pen and dumps every feeling onto the paper. The unfairness, the intense anger, the pure exhaustion. She gets the static out of her head. Seeing those emotions materialized in ink makes them objective. She looks at the stress she's caused herself and makes a conscious executive decision to leave it right there on the page. She decides her own mental clarity has a higher value than proving she was right about a conversation from yesterday. The following morning arrives with a starkly different atmosphere. Mira wakes up rested. She feels lighter, the mental fog has cleared, and her focus on her actual work is sharp again. Closing the background application that was draining her cognitive battery has returned that bandwidth to her brain. The power of letting go has nothing to do with the other person. It is the reclamation of your own internal operating system. The next time you catch yourself spinning in one of these mental loops, you can use a specific framework to break out. First, run an energy audit. Is this past event worth today's limited energy? Next, do a boundary check. You cannot edit a conversation locked in the past. Finally, execute the pivot. Point your reclaimed mental bandwidth toward a current priority. Growth requires energy and focus. When your hands are gripped tightly around a past grievance, you lack the reach for future opportunities. Choosing peace is the ultimate act of releasing what holds you back from your future.